And welcome to Impact 2023, our continuing conversation where we talk about all different types of topics from race, religion, current events, everything that you can think of. And as always, we have our continuing conversation, our safe place where we can talk about different topics and different things going on out here in the world. As always, we ask that you type in your questions and your comments into the comment section because this is a conversation, and we hopefully will have your opinions to add to the conversation. So we're going to jump in, and like always, we have our topics, and so this is a little bit not the norm of what we would talk about. When I was young, there was a song. It was called "The Butt." So doing the butt. And it was on a movie. It's called School Days, and it was a song. It was called "Doing the Butt." And probably the biggest line that people remember is when they were going through different names of people, and they were saying like, Sally got a big old butt. Oh yeah, and Clarissa got a big old butt. And it would go down the line. And then when I was a little older, there was a song by Sir Mix-a-Lot. It's called "I Like Big Butts." Don't worry, I'm going somewhere with this. And that one was "I Like Big Butts and I Cannot Lie." And the reason that I'm bringing this up is because culturally, whether it be urban culture, whether it be Black culture, whatever kind of culture you maybe want to go to, there's constantly been an emphasis on butts, right? And what does that leads to today? And in today's society, one of the things that we're talking about is BBLs, or the Brazilian butt lift. And why are we talking about that? Because on social media, it is now one of the most researched cosmetic surgeries. And so just for a moment, what it does is that they take fatty tissue from one part of your body and they inject it into your butt, giving you a larger butt. All right. So that's what the Brazilian butt lift is. It's been going on for years in Brazil. And now here in the United States, over the past couple of years, it's been a major, major thing. It is a cosmetic surgery that people participate in, women participate in mostly, to make their backside look bigger. And as I said, it is the most researched cosmetic surgery on social media. Also, it's the most, according to some doctors, it is the most dangerous surgery. Over 3% of doctors surveyed, according to by the Educational Research Surgery Educational Research Group, they said over 3% of the doctors have experienced a fatality. And so what happens is their blood clots, fat can get into your arteries and things, and it can have complications. Also, there are illegal or back channel Brazilian butt lifts. And in those, they put in, instead of taking fat from one area to another, they put in other things in there to make the butt larger. And so it's pretty dangerous. And you're like, well, 3% said they did fatalities. It's like saying, it's the equivalent of sitting back there and saying, well, people have nose jobs, and 3% of the people who do nose jobs, 3% of the doctors are saying they've had fatalities while doing nose jobs. That would be ridiculous. No one should be dying while doing a nose job. That's over the top. And so the reason that we're talking about this, and we're talking about the fact that these butt lifts have some danger to them, is because in the Black community, in the young lady community, so in the Black young lady community, it has become extremely popular. Again, as they talk about in social media. And as we talk about different things, and we talk about how we say we need to protect our Black women. And I'm a man, so, you got to realize the perspective that I'm coming from. When we're constantly hearing protect our Black women, we have a discussion about why Black women have decided, or as a whole, from a holistic view, have decided that this is going to be one of the surgeries that they're going to aggressively go after, because it's been aggressively put into the Black community. Now, these surgeries aren't cheap. You're talking anywhere from $3,000 to $30,000 for the procedure. And so that's why some people do, uh, um, the back door or the unofficial ones. And so it's extremely dangerous. It's the most dangerous, according to me, doctor. It is the most dangerous cosmetic surgery out there. And so you're putting your life at risk so that you can look different. You're putting your life at risk so you can look like the movie star or the more so the video vixen or the magazine cover star. You're putting your life at risk and a lot of your money for that. We have examples. So you have an example of Nicki Minaj. So let me go back. There's reason and rationale behind what some of these decisions are. You have people like Nicki Minaj who gets a Brazilian butt lift. You have people like Cardi B who's getting a Brazilian butt lift. So you have all these different people who get it. And so that's what the little girls are looking at. That's what grown women are looking at. And they're saying, all right, well, they're looking at them. They've gotten these. They're successful. They like the way they look. And so the question is this really affecting our community negatively? And so we have guests, Ron, a guest to talk about it now. He's not a Brazilian butt lift doctor or anything like that. And so he's a common person just like me and you. Everybody here. And so we'll just get his perspective of what you think about that. So bring you in. Hey, how's it going?
Yo, yo.
All right. So real quickly, we're just gonna hop into it. We've been talking about these Brazilian butt lifts, and we've been talking about basically the fact that it is the most dangerous cosmetic surgery, but young girls, young women are getting them. Do you think that these Brazilian butt lifts, and again, let me just to hash back so everybody can know, 3% of the doctors that have been surveyed have said they had somebody die. Again, it has been considered the most dangerous cosmetic surgery, but our young girls and our young ladies are trying to get them, and it is the number one research cosmetic surgery on social media. So, give me your perspective. Do you think that's a problem that so many women, Black women especially, are trying to get surgeries that are so dangerous for whatever reason?
Absolutely. Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I absolutely agree with you. Especially with these surgeries, is I think it's a little bit more than even just I, I don't even know how to explain it. I I don't know. Let me see how I'm gonna get into it. With these surgeries, I think it's dangerous. Just one from the aspect of just that, just the surgery part. I don't think a lot of females or people in general understand what happens when you got to go on either anesthetics or how to get like the medicine that affects you. And also I don't like the message that is sent out to a lot of younger ladies out there.
Right.
And I take it back to more of I know a lot of people speak of the Willie Lynch letters, but I don't think they actually read and understood in depth the psychological effect that they put into slaves that hate each other and hate themselves to lead up to this. I don't think it was BBLs. I don't think it's just something that's a product of today. It's a product of something that happened years ago, and it's just working its way through.
Right.
Um, and I look at it like that. I try and tell a lot of people like a lot of Black communities are affected heavily by a piece of literature that's been out there for years and is is mentioned because you can't ignore it. But I don't think that the actual literature has been explored enough in Black households, in
Mhm.
households where it was designed to affect us. It was a 300-year program. It's like a business plan. You got a
Mhm.
5-year projective. These guys actually had a 300-year projective, projection of how they was going to destroy us or keep us, to the point where, we was, whether you want to call it colonized or we was just, just ineffective. And I think the BBLs and a lot of the cosmetic surgeries is part of it. I think it's part of it as far as, especially like attacking our females,
Yeah.
in the black community.
Yeah. Well, see, you just you have a daughter. I have a daughter. From a male perspective, like what is our job to do? Again, I know you've heard this term. We've all heard this term. Protect black females. We got to protect black females. The one thing we can't do is just sit here and be talking to females about their body and their body choices. But at the same time, we need to be able to communicate like you're already beautiful as you are. You don't need to put your life at risk. You know, for these surgeries and things like that. What as men?
I think as men, I think we gotta as men, I think we gotta do what we not supposed to do. Like you gotta have that conversation. Like it's one of the things as men that we've been taught. Once again, we've been taught in modern day man that hey, you gotta be more considerate. And it's fine. I can be considerate, but that don't change the fact that as a man, I don't have to be popular. I gotta do what's right. I gotta do what I can live with and what I say is right. So if I know for a fact, like this surgery, you'll never be happy with it. That's the problem with a lot of cosmetic surgeries. It's not a one thing. It's not a people. I'm gonna just get this done and then I'm done. No, you're not, because it's something. It's chasing perfection. And as a person, I cook. So for me, when I see a dish, it's never perfect. No matter how good it is, no matter how beautiful it is, I can always find something that I can say is not good enough. And that's the same mindset when you start picking with parts of your body. You are born perfect. Like God made you in the image that He needs you to be in.
Yeah.
And it's like now it's like you step in and say, well, maybe I should have a little bit more behind me. And a lot of times, like you do this, but do you understand the effects it's going to have when you later on? Like, are you thinking about is just going to make me look good?
Right.
That's what I don't like. Do you think it make me look good, or do you have to think about, well, what if I get this and something happens?
Mm-hmm.
What if I get this? Would this cause for other issues later on in life?
Yeah.
And I don't think people are exploring it.
Yeah, I think you're right on that, and I think you're right about at the end of the day, it's not just this surgery; it's a slippery slope. So you start off, and women, I know, man, I know women gonna be like, man, this dude's terrible. But you start off with the hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have to wear your real hair out. You putting on wigs all the time, or you're dyeing it and frying it and all that kind of stuff. Then it leads to, all right, I need to shave my eyebrows off and then write in some other ones because I need to look not like myself and like somebody else.
Yeah.
And then it leads to now the surgeries. And like you said, once you done had one, now I got this surgery, that was fine. Now I'm gonna get this surgery and this surgery and this surgery. And so instead of investing in your family and in your lifestyle with your money, you're investing in your body, which is something that, it's good to invest in your body, but not in that way.
It's good to invest in your health. Your health. Everything. Your body is a product of your health.
Mm-hmm.
Whether the health part be genetics, whether it be what you do to take care of it, your body is a product of your health. So it's good to invest in your health. But your body, when you start going in and changing and tempering, it's different. And like I said, for me, just growing up having a strong black mother, it was always like, I tell people when I had these conversations about the status of like Black America or Black youth or any of it, it comes back to like, listen, we are part of a program that we don't even understand that we're in, and all that comes down to it. Why is it that we don't think that Black is as beautiful as it is?
Right.
Why is it that we don't like the look that we see when we look in the mirror? And it's like, it's a thing of like we're chasing. It's a reason why people are so caught up into, the social media, and it's like, are we truly getting this? Like we see it in social media. Oh, this is so beautiful. This is so nice. What happened when that camera go off? This person don't look like this. They go home and they're being themselves. They're happy. Then they turn it on and they're acting, We teach our kids, hey, what you see in movies, you can't believe. Because it's not true. In a movie, when they die, they come back, you see them again because they're not really dead. So, but we don't teach them that, hey, what you see on social media is just that. That 5 seconds of a reel or that, that 20 seconds that you see of a reel was the product of 6 months of planning, 3 months of planning, that product that you see of this lady on Instagram that got her hair done, that has so much done, that's the product of maybe hours of work, makeup, hair, and we got to explain that to them, even when it comes to movies or shows. Like, I'm not a big fan of celebrities. I like to tell people we should teach our kids that celebrities is somebody that's for entertainment. True celebrities or true people that we should value are the ones that's around us. I'm happy to wake up and see my friends, not the people on TV.
Right, real, yeah. That's a good point. That's all right. Well, that real good point. we're looking at the wrong people, and going off of that with the celebrities. Let me play devil's advocate. Young girl comes up to you and she's like, "Listen, we got to do these surgeries. I'm an inspiring rapper. Two biggest female rappers of all time, Lil Kim and man, just lost her name.
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj. Both of them had significant amount of surgeries. Nicki Minaj talked about how she had her BBL. She regrets it, or she says she regrets it now. But you wouldn't, we can be real. Neither one of them probably would have been as famous. Maybe Lil Kim, because that was a different time. But neither one of them probably would have been as famous without significant surgeries that they had.
It's nothing new under the sun, right?
The surgery.
Listen, it's nothing new under the sun, as they say, right? Back in the day when the old jazz man went and met the man at the crossroads, he had to sell something to get it. And nobody knew what he sold. That was between him and whatever deal he made. Right. But usually what he sold was a part of him that they didn't want to empower the people that he was going to be in front of. Back in the day, the old jazz man had this shiny guitar, but what he had to give for it.
Right.
So now it started off small. You chasing maybe an object of, just a guitar. Maybe it was the fancy suit, the hat. That was appealing back then. Now it's like a lot of ladies. It's also part of female empowerment. It's a great thing, but part of being empowered means you're being attacked. So now it's like, listen, we're going to give y'all the opportunity to grow, to be successful, but at what cost? How far are you willing to go? How much of yourself are you willing to give us to be successful? And I think that's a part that people got to realize. Like, sometimes you got to stand on your ground. If your talent is as good as you think it is, don't sacrifice as much as you think you have to. When they ask you, are you willing to play this role? Like, are you willing to play this role? No, because when do it stop? But it just comes down to it. Like, it's a tricky question because it's loaded. Because then you gotta, they set a lot of these ladies up to fall under this circumstance because they don't have wealth growing up. They don't have money. They don't have. So they attack a part of them that feel like, in order to be successful, in order to be, where I want to be, not to have to worry about money again, I have to do this.
Right.
But it's a lot of avenues where you don't have to.
That's true. There's a lot of other different things that you can do and you don't have to. I'll jump on, and this might be my bias, man, because I ain't a fan of this. But all of these real housewives, real loving hip hop, that's not helping either, because all of them got the body augmentation. So all of them, you basically sitting here like, all right, I'm gonna get famous. Augmenting my body is a small price to pay to get this little bit of fame. And so,
but it's not a small price. Like, I think that's the biggest lie that's being told, and people need to say it. It's not a small price. It's a small price for you. But the big price is that when you have kids and they look back at you, how do you tell them, don't do what I did? That's the problem that a lot of us have. Like, you don't get tattoos. Well, I got one, but my mama told me not to get it, but I wanted it, and then it's like, now you see it to the point where you got face tattoos on young kids. And it's like, it's an expression, let's take it even deeper. Growing up, don't be shacking up. Once again, it's like, it's a small price. It's a new generation. Okay. They tell you, look, be proud of who you are. Don't do this to your body. It's just a small surgery. It ain't gonna hurt. We'll be set for life. But now look at what it's doing. You have a lot of females, like, you got girls that's 18 and 20 that good thing a lot of that backyard BBL is done. Well, it's not done, it's still being done, but a
Yeah.
lot of them are they know places now where they can go and get it done affordably.
Right.
But I mean, it's to the point where like we had a generation of young ladies getting stuff done in basements
Yeah. Yeah.
by undocumented daughters or whoever. Um,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
it's it's a deeper issue. Like it's killing the community. It's but more than it's a hard conversation, because it's
Yeah.
so much more you had to attack. Like, you gotta. It's kind of hard to explain to somebody who don't have success or know how to generate money.
Exactly. Exactly. That I
Yeah,
think that's where it comes off. When people don't have success or they feel bad about themselves, it's kind of hard to be like, nah, don't do that. You can't. Don't do that. It's bad for you.
but when you don't have another option, and they look at it like this, like you telling me don't do this, but you got a good job, you
Right.
working, you have a house, you have goals, and
Yeah.
and it's like once again you send yourself to the standard, and I think that's the problem with some households. We set standards, and there's nothing wrong with setting standards, but we also got to understand that the standard can't be the same for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Success got to come in increments. And
Mhm.
sometimes you might get yours younger at 20 and 30, but it don't mean that because you 30 now and somebody come by and say, hey, in order to be on board with us and be on a housewives club or be seen and be, you got to get this done.
Right. Right.
You know,
A lot of people don't know. You don't know you poor, or you don't know you broke until you see somebody else that got more. That's
yeah,
the thing that messes you up sometimes, and that's the problem with social media. Because there's a lot of people, they were happy with what they had, then they saw it on social media and was like, "Oh man, they got way more. I need more of that." Now you're not as
yeah,
happy as you were. You what? You was happy with your 1 bedroom house. You was like, "I done made it. I done came up." And then you see somebody with like 10 bedrooms. You're like, "Man, I'm broke." Like you was
yeah.
happy
Hey,
with a
listen,
couple minutes ago.
look, man, comparison is a tool of the devil, man. Like, listen, at the end of the day, I mean, it's true. Like, I had a conversation with a buddy of mine. He said, "Man, people who don't travel don't know what they missing, man. I mean, they missing out on so much." And he was just talking about. I said, "Man, wait." I said, "Think about what you're saying.
Mhm.
A man that haven't traveled is happy with the life he living. How can you fault him and say that he don't know? Like, the more questions you ask, the dumber you get." And that's just the truth. Like, in anybody, if you ask questions, you understand the more questions you ask, the dumber you get. Because you
Mhm.
ask a question to open the door for something else. Now
Uh-huh.
you have to learn and fill that void before you even feel secure or before you should feel secure. But now what happens is that people asking questions, and instead of filling that void and saying, "Let me learn what I can," they want to ask another question. And they don't feel that void. So it's a lot of insecurities.
Yeah.
So when I'm speaking on doors, it's like insecurities. And I think that's even a part of it with a lot of these housewives, the housewives and everything. Oh, I'm making money. You are, but how?
Right.
You know? How are you making this money?
Mhm.
On what row are you really making the money, or is somebody feeding you money, to fall into an agenda,
Right. Right.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, look,
Yeah.
our time has gone quick. But before we go, same topic, but something a little lighter.
Okay.
So it was a guy, got married. Guy, he was wealthy. He got married to this beautiful woman. He's like, yeah, beautiful. This wasn't here in the United States. This was actually in one of the Asian countries. I can't remember which one, so I won't get it wrong. Dude got married to this beautiful woman. They ended up having a baby. The baby looks nothing like the woman. He said the baby is I'm not gonna say ugly because it's a baby, but he said this baby is extremely unattractive, and he was mad at the woman and divorced the woman. And so what he found out was the woman had so much plastic surgery that he didn't truly know what she looked like. And so
Ooh.
when he had a baby, he was upset because the baby came out and he wasn't happy with what the baby looked like because it looked nothing like the woman.
I mean, that's his fault too. I mean, that's his fault. Like, listen, at the end of the day, you got to have some attraction. But if the only reason you with a lady is because you're attracted to her, that's a big issue right there.
Mhm.
You know, same time, it's kind of.
You blame her for fooling him though, because he's sitting there thinking like, "Oh, I'm gonna have a cute little baby." That Jay come out looking like.
Listen, can I blame him? Really, I can't. Like, listen, if you got a problem, your job is to solve it, right?
Yeah.
So think about it. All she's doing is solving the problem. She's not attractive to most men that she's attracted to. So she found a way to become attractive to them.
Yeah.
So do that say more about the female finding a solution to an issue, or do it say more about the male, the man's or the man perspective of I can't love or pursue you unless you look the way I want you to.
Right. Look, ideally, you would have thought, okay, our love was deeper than how you looked. Because at the end of the day, she still looked the same.
Yeah.
And so you should like her personality and the fact that she's kind and that she's giving and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But not this dude. As soon as he found out that baby wasn't looking good.
I mean, and listen, it also is a lot of questions. Did you have a conversation like, some people, like, I respect a shallow person if they say I'm shallow. Like, look, I want to have pretty babies. If you can't do that, we ain't gonna work out. You gotta see that.
Yeah. I mean, he ain't look at her mama, like, her sister, nothing. Baby pictures, nothing.
Hey, listen, you heard the story of the ugly duckling. Sometimes they gotta grow into those features. Maybe those just features are gonna be cute when she get older. She just, maybe she got a big nose. I don't know.
Oh man, that's funny. Well, look, man, man, this was a good one. Our time went really quick. I appreciate you coming on, but this is it's a tough topic for real. We got to figure out, how to support our young ladies and make them feel in a space where they don't have to feel like they need to, change their bodies and things like that. So I appreciate your insight that you put on here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, and please feel free to come back and join us again anytime. Just as a reminder, everybody, we're here every week, Tuesdays, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Also on Thursdays, we have Thursday Thirst, the Bible study here at 7 o'clock. And on Sundays, of course, we have service here. And we put the thing on the screen so everybody can see it. Boom, there we go.
There we go, at the bottom.
You're right.
So look, hold on. Is that the right area code? Because they switching up the area codes now.
Well, we didn't have area code on here, luckily, because I know you're right. They switching all that up.
Okay.
Oh, no, we did that area code. No, but yeah, that's 646.
Yeah, the 646 is coming to some part of Richmond.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I don't know. All right, man. But thank you for coming on here. Thank you for everybody, and have a good one.